circle because sisters
have problems too.
have problems too. Let's get started. Oh my god, it's hot.
That's what I said. You said you were built different. It's really
Maybe I'm not. Woo.
No, I think I'm gonna
I
burn.
got-
I'm gonna burn myself.
It's so hot.
Just like the stories we have for today.
Anyways, hi everyone. Welcome to Sister Circle because sisters
Have problems too.
have problems too. And here I have a very special guest again for this episode. I have Jasmine Lam.
Please clap for me in the comments.
Finally, can I have your time to be here.
4 episodes. It took 4 episodes for me to come on.
I just want to say that today's episode we're gonna be talking about the topic that Jasmine is very familiar with. She's an expert in this area.
Well, depends how you define expert, but
Then people start like DMing you after this.
if you need any advice, don't ask me, ask him.
What is our topic for today?
Dating and boundaries.
Dating and boundaries.
Dating and boundaries.
Hmm.
It's a pretty heavy topic. Don't know why I got asked here to do this one of all the topics out there.
I mean, it's really quite interesting.
It is, yeah.
At our age, we are supposed to be exploring people and ourselves, and that's one way of doing it, to date.
To date.
Okay, Jasmine, you know what? Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why do you think we need to date?
Well, first question and I'm stunned.
Okay, the reason why I asked you this question is
Okay.
because, right, I was only introduced to the concept of dating when I came to Singapore. Maybe because I was too young back then. I came to
Okay.
Singapore when I was like 15. So
Okay,
when I was
fair.
younger, like when you kind of realize that, oh my god, that person like me or I like him or her back, then let's just
You
get
marry
together.
them.
No, we're not getting married. Instantly,
you're
but we just
cute.
like
Wanna
get
get
into a
married?
relationship, You're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend now.
Okay.
And then you just explore the relationship. But when you came to Singapore, like even like at the age of 15, you already know that you need to date with the person first before you pursue anything.
Yeah.
So
you know-
why do you need to date?
Okay, I agree. It's very much a cultural thing because I
Mhm.
think when I was in Indonesia, there's not that big of a dating phase. Like you sort of just, oh, I like you, and then you get together and then you figure it out. I guess it's a cultural thing, but I think in Singapore, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, but I think the reason why we date is to find out if this person is actually someone you want to call your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Like, because you could find somebody cute, right? Oh, you're cute, but like you never know how this person is. Whether you like the same things, whether he cares about his family, if that's something that's important to you, and things like that. So that's why we date.
I guess that's for us to find out the commonality and differences, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to values and all that. I know a lot of people say that, oh, we date because we need to find out whether the person is compatible with us. The term compatibility is being thrown
We hear
around
that
so
a
much. We hear
lot.
that a lot. We
Yeah.
are looking for someone who is so compatible to us. But honestly, you can't just find someone who is compatible. If not, might as well you just date your friends.
Yeah. So like you can be compatible with a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Like you can find that connection with so many different people. Like I mean, I'm compatible with AJ, but we all know we will not date each other. So
Hell would break loose. I am not even kidding.
okay, so you said compatibility is not the only thing. What else?
I mean, differences can be something that you can be amazed with.
Okay.
It's all about learning a new thing about each other every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead, it's about your perspectives, how you see the differences.
Yeah.
Differences are not scary, but it's about how you deal with the differences.
Yes.
Yes. So that is one thing you have to figure
Yeah.
out when you are dating with a person. Finding out how the person communicates his difference or her difference. Or
Yeah.
how you communicate, that's for you to find out about yourselves too.
Yeah.
Are you very sure that you can communicate your needs, your wants, your
Yeah.
differences properly?
Yeah, because I think when we're dating, maybe a lot of us, we want to put like our best selves forward, which is perfectly understandable, right?
Yeah.
This is someone you find attractive. Obviously, you want them to see, the best parts of you.
Yeah.
But in doing so, I find that, a lot of times we tend to communicate less. Like we're afraid of saying things that might scare off this person. What if I tell him or this, and then suddenly they don't like me anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's something that I find happens a lot in the dating phase.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's necessary because sometimes you don't want to compromise too much of yourself just so you can be liked by the person because you like the person so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about taking a risk. If they don't like you, they don't like you. You just have to
Yeah.
love yourself. You have to like yourself enough to tell them this
Yeah.
is who I am as a person. But you know, in dating, it's not just about just this alone. Of course, you have to figure out whether the person would be there for you.
Many things.
Yes, so many things. Whether would be there for you when you need them emotionally. Of course, we talk about the idea of like appropriateness here because I think it depends on the person. And we are not saying that you're supposed to be finding someone who can be there for you all the time.
Yeah.
But you know that willingness that they will be there for you, and if they really commit to it, they will be there for you.
Yeah.
I think you just have to look out for that consistency.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to be with someone in the long term that is not willing to accept the bigger parts of you. Like, you know, things that are important to you, to your personality, your values and stuff. Like, if somebody can't accept it, it's going to be really difficult for you to date. So you might as well be honest from the get-go instead of waiting until, you know, you're too committed until you already BTO and then you're like, oh no. Yeah.
All right. And in the process of like finding that commonality and differences, you're also learning about how much of you can share with the person. And you're not supposed to be sharing, I don't think so. You're not supposed to be sharing every part of you, which is one person. You don't even tell everything to your mom, to your dad, or even your best friend.
That's true. Like, I mean, okay, I know we say, oh, I tell everything, but everything?
Do you?
Like,
really?
everything? Like, at 2 a.m. I was in the bathroom having diarrhea, everything?
yeah. You're not supposed to be, I don't know, but I just feel like you should have your own space too, and you shouldn't have that expectation that the person that I'm gonna be talking to, I'm gonna be dating with, he or she has to be able to accept every part of me, everything about me.
Yeah.
Because we just believe in that entire idea of like total honesty.
Yeah.
That is the way to go in the proper relationship.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it is necessary though. We are talking about total honesty here.
Okay, I do believe in total honesty, but I agree with you in that I don't think we have to share every single part of our lives.
Yeah.
I think you have to share, you know, if you're seeing somebody, obviously you have to share the bigger parts.
Yeah.
So the most important things in your life. But not everything. And I guess that's also why we have so many different friends, right? Like to one group you will share, you know, maybe about the struggles you have in school. To another group you share about, you know, the struggles you have at home. So but with dating, obviously, you know, you're definitely sharing a bigger part of the pie. Like, so maybe 80% of your life. But I think something that I think is really important is not oversharing from the start.
And that is when drawing the boundary comes in.
Yeah.
So you need to be aware of yourself, how you're supposed to be drawing your line of how much you can share and how much you shouldn't share. Yeah.
And this is like, I wish we could give you a formula. Like, you know, share about A, B, and C, but not D. But the fact is, it's very personal. It's something that's individual to each and every one of you.
And it depends on the relationship with the person that you're talking to. You know, the relationship with this person might be different from another relationship you have with another person.
If life was so easy, we could just copy and paste from whatever we had before.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure that Jasmine has like some personal story to share from her friend.
From my friend, my very good friend of mine, not me, my friend.
Who suffered from, I don't know,
like an experience like that.
Yeah, experience from like a blurred boundary from the other part, from the other side, right? Not really about her side. I think she herself draw the line pretty clear.
So let's make sure I communicate my friend's story really clearly. So
spill the tea, sis. Cheers.
So this friend of mine met this person on a dating app, okay? And then, you know, they clicked it off super well. Like, they talked about a lot of different things, and they just had a lot of fun talking. And then my friend was like, oh, you know, maybe this is somebody that you could get to know. So, you know, they went out once, and then, you know, they chatted for a while. But maybe within the first week of talking, the person that she met started sharing about his entire life, okay? Like, I mean, like, from start to bottom, okay? Like, his entire life story. And my friend was there feeling so overwhelmed. Like, is this normal? Because we just knew each other, you know, for a week. And not we, I mean my friend. Yes, my friend. So, my friend was like... How do I deal with this person's emotions and struggles? Because it's not a close friend, right? Do I offer advice? Do I blah, blah, blah? So eventually what happened was my friend decided that, okay, if this person is going to be sharing so much about his life, something might be off, because this is something that you would usually share with your close friends. And if you're sharing with a total stranger from like the get-go, maybe it's a red flag. I guess for my friend it was a red flag, because like, this is something that maybe he or she doesn't have any friends, which is a red flag, I think, for my friend. It might not be for you, but person to person again. So in the end, my friend was like, you know what, I think I'm just gonna drop this because that's just too much for me to deal with, and I don't think I can date someone and end up being their emotional therapist. Yeah.
How do you learn to draw the line then, like for you yourself, the boundary?
Wow. I think the better answer would be I'm still learning. Like, I'm still figuring out like how much is too much, because by nature I'm an extrovert, and extroverts, right? We like to talk about everything.
We like to talk
Both
about
of
everything.
us.
Yeah, we like to talk about everything.
I think it's about communication, I guess. So about feeling that person out. How much does that person share, first of all? So if the person you're talking to is sharing about maybe this part of his life, then I think it would be safe for you to share about this part of his life. Provided you're comfortable.
Yeah. Of course, you don't have to feel obligated.
Yeah.
The person can choose to trade information.
Yeah.
Can be the one starting
like
conversation, but doesn't mean that you have to do it.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of yourself. I think it comes a lot with experiences and a lot of like social
cues, social cues
that you need to be able to pick up by yourself.
Yeah.
With this little sensing, I think. And I think for your friend's case, right, I think it boils down to the idea of expectations in relationships. Maybe because like that guy is expecting to open himself up entirely with your friend. Yeah, to be able
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, maybe it's his way of showing that I am serious. I wanna know more about you.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the reason why he's giving so much of himself, hoping that your friend would be able to accept
reciprocate.
it. And reciprocate too. So that is already a discrepancy, right? So you should be able to gauge from the first few things that you share. I think that little conversations that you have, you should be able to sense like how much this person is interested. To listen is one thing, and share more about himself or herself is another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot about social cues.
Yeah. And that is something that you just learn over time, and we are not an expert. We just learn about this too. Yeah. And I do have my personal story too about like the dating experience. So this happened 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we are still good friends. Yes.
So it's a success.
I mean, dating doesn't have to always end with you entering into a relationship, right? Because dating is about that learning about each other. That's true. In my case, even though we kind of show like that attraction or interest at the beginning, when we actually meet with the person, you just realize that it's something else. Yeah. So what happened was 2 years ago, after 2 months of my breakup.
Is it a rebound?
It's not.
Okay.
I went on a solo trip to Switzerland.
Wow.
And my best friend, Lydia, was telling me that you need to use Tinder once you touch down in Switzerland. And I did. I was waiting for my luggage.
Travel dating.
Once I, turned on a notification on my Tinder app, I had like 10 matches. I'd be like, these people like us from exotic country. And yeah, I mean, 2 guys texted, and one of my friends, this guy that I went on a date with, he texted me. He's half Singaporean, half Swiss. So if you can imagine how cute he is, he has that halfy look.
Does he have any friends?
Yeah, he's very cute. So we went on texting and learning more about each other over the text for the next 2 days. And then on the 3rd day, we decided to meet in person.
Okay.
So it was after his work. He drove all the way down to the city that I went to. And then once he reached, we met, we talked, and then I asked him, what would you like to have for dinner? He's like, I would like to have some Thai food. I'm like, for your information, I'm from Thailand. So he's like, oh, yeah, sure, I don't mind. I mean, he's trying to tell me that he's familiar with Thai culture.
Yeah, he's #culture.
Yeah, so I'm just like, Yeah, sure.
Alright.
I mean, sure, we can.
What
we
can I
can
say,
go
right?
So yeah, we went to have like Thai food, and then in the first 5 minutes, I already established it very clearly that I'm not looking for anything. I mean, like, I'm just here to like make
For a
friends
couple
and
days.
yeah, and just really just to experience my first date in Swiss, I guess. Like my first time using like dating app and meeting new people.
What a
Like,
life
I just
he's
want to see how
living.
it's like. And yeah, and he was very receptive towards that. He was like, of course, like you're just here for a few days, so we just like learn more about each
So
other.
you made that clear from the get go.
Yes,
Like,
from the
"Hi, I'm
get go,
just here
right
to
from
have
the
fun."
beginning. If not, because I knew what I am expected out. I was expecting out of that entire
Yeah.
experience, right? So I just want to make it very clear that are we having the same kind of expectation? Are you expecting something else? Because this is what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
And I already knew that if he's going to say like, oh, but I'm looking for something else.
What would you have done? Would you
I mean, I guess what would happen was maybe we would just have like a meal. Then I would just like, okay, maybe that's all we can do for today. I think I will go for something else. At least I would sit down for a meal with a stranger.
like
and
out
we
of
can
respect,
out of respect.
for his time.
Yeah, for his time, since he drove all the way down, right? So I wouldn't mind that. Yeah. But then what happened was that well, unfortunately enough, he was receptive towards the idea. So, and we had a really good connection.
Yeah.
You know, we talked. It turned out to be a 5-hour long conversation, and
In
we had a
Switzerland,
really
of all
really
places.
really had a good talk and a good walk. We talk all about like politics, LGBTQ situation, his personal experience, and the reason why we went all the way to really intimate topic was because we could sense each other that we are comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, from that little topic about politics or my way of questioning,
LGBTQ.
his way of answering, his way of questioning, you kind of know what kind of person he is as a person.
Like whether he's comfortable to share about like different aspects of his life.
Yeah, so from those sensing, those clues that we gave each other, so we were open to talk about the personal stories and personal stuff. So that's what happened, and it turned out to be a really good, like, you know, experience.
Wow.
Dating experience I had.
Wish I could say. I wish my friend could say the same.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened, and that is what I'm trying to say about dating, right? Sometimes it's not just about connection you have
Yeah.
with the person, but you need to have a good chemistry.
Yeah.
But I did not have that attraction or chemistry with my dear friend.
Yeah. Like you
Fortunately
had a
or unfortunately,
you
I'm not
had
sure.
you had a connection with him. Like you could talk, you know,
Yeah.
5 hours at that, but you didn't feel like the chemistry. Like you didn't feel like this is someone that you could date.
Yeah. But I mean, coming back to the idea of boundary, you need to be clear with yourself. What do you expect out of it, of that entire experience,
Yeah.
and you need to be able to communicate it.
You need to be clear with the person.
Yes.
But that's it. It is a very awkward conversation. Like it is. Like I think maybe do you think it was easier for you because you were in another country, like you weren't in Singapore?
I agree.
Yeah,
I
right.
agree. But I mean, at the same time, you need to be able to, you know, protect yourself,
Yeah.
regardless of like who you are talking to. Because even though I went to another country with a different culture, I might have encountered with a different type of person too.
That's true.
So you need to be able to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And in, I don't know, just now you were talking about oversharing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I know sometimes it can be difficult on, like, if the person is sharing, how am I supposed to be?
That's my question too. Like I mean, it's such awkward. Like okay, imagine someone is like opening his heart, his or her art up to you, and then you're telling about his struggles or life or whatever. How do you go? No, thank you. Like,
I mean, okay, yes, okay, that would came off as you are being a little less
rude?
empathetic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like not
like
empathetic.
you're not empathetic, right? So I think what you can do is telling how you feel. You can tell them that I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready. I don't.
so
think I'm
it's
ready
it's not me. It's you. No, it's
It's not you.
It's
It's me. So it's about like owning up what you're feeling right now. They can't take it away from you because that's really how you're feeling, right?
Yeah.
So you just tell them that I don't think I'm ready to hear about it.
So you don't make it about the person, but it's,
Yes.
it's how you feel, and
Yeah.
you can't say, oh, you shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, this is in the case of the person you're talking to does not draw the line very clearly, or in that process of figuring out our lines, our boundaries,
Yeah.
and there was a little bit of like discrepancy,
Yeah,
then
or-
you are supposed to be the one making it clear that okay, I think this is my line.
So
And-
like, hey, like I don't know if I'm ready to hear this yet. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about this yet. Maybe we can talk about this further down the line. Something like that.
Yeah, and that's a good way of, protecting yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are respecting the person, and hopefully the person would
Get
be
it.
able to understand. Really, I it's a very basic thing.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, if the person does not understand what that means and get offended by
Then-
you drawing the boundary, then
That's not really something you want to pursue.
yeah,
Because I feel like at this age, we all should be mature enough to have these conversations. It's awkward, okay? It's not fun for sure.
it
But
is not fun.
if you cannot have these conversations, how can you make even bigger decisions later
Yeah,
on in
and
life?
it's all about, I don't know, communication and respect.
Respect, yeah.
Respect.
Communication and respect.
To be able to respect each other's differences.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's not at your own expense. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know what you're expecting out of this. He knows or she knows what he's expecting out of this,
Mm-hmm.
and that just makes it a more pleasant experience
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming back to the topic of another thing that I want to highlight, I think I mentioned about it earlier,
Okay.
was the idea of connection
Mm.
and chemistry.
Yeah.
So I think that is another thing that you can look out for when you're going on a date,
Mm.
right? So it's not just about, because you can have a really great conversation,
Yeah.
5-hour long conversation like I had, but doesn't mean that it would turn into a second date,
Yeah.
right? You can have because you have good connections with friends too.
That's true.
Then what makes the difference for this relationship between dating and just platonic relationship, right? So if you are very sure or kind of sure that this is something that you want to pursue with this
Or like
person,
find out more.
give some signals.
We don't mean signals like hold up a flag. Like hello.
What I'm trying to say is, it depends on your way of, you can call it, I don't call it seducing. It's just like,
Wink.
just a little bit of signaling,
Okay.
that moment when he or she is talking and you're just like lost in the moment of looking at the person. Or that little like, I don't know, hug that is a little longer than it should be, or that little, I don't know, up
So
to you.
like subtle signs. I
Yeah,
guess.
subtle sign. Of
Subtle
course,
signs.
this might lead to the problem of misinterpretation.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna ask, right? Okay, we can give subtle. Okay, what if you're like me and you? We're just a very smiley people. What if somebody's like, ooh, she's in love with me? And I'm like, ooh, nah, I'm just smiling.
I guess it's for you to clarify.
Okay.
I mean, we always like,
So we're circling back to the whole.
exactly.
This ambulance.
It's an ambulance. Okay,
Stay
anyways.
safe out there, kids.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's for you to clarify. We always like advocate for open communication,
Yeah.
regardless of what type of relationship you're in, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can, I don't know, ask the person like, what does does it mean anything? Or are you trying to say, yeah, I mean,
So after the date, remember before the xiao long bao came? What did that wink mean?
oh, my eye was itchy. My eye was itchy.
I just got some dust.
Then you can just laugh about it.
Yeah.
You can just laugh about it,
Yeah,
because
you can laugh it off.
you don't have to tell them like how you felt about it. If you feel like you don't have, like
Yeah.
you didn't want to tell them,
Yeah.
like you can just check with them first.
Yeah.
Like talk about it. It can be another topic for you to talk about over the
Yeah.
text too.
Yeah, I mean, you
kinda cute.
can, I guess at the end, like maybe if let's say you want to go on round 2, you
Mm.
can subtly hint
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe we should try climbing,
Yeah.
or we should
Yeah.
go walking together.
Yeah.
You can hint all these things. But if at the end you're still confused,
Yeah.
like, does this person want to go out with me or
Mm.
not? Just ask.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to lose, right?
Yeah.
At
And-
most they reject you, or you get a second date.
Yeah. And another thing is, when it comes to signaling, it's about finding his way or her way or their way of showing that aspect of you, of them,
Okay.
of them, and you will be able to see whether like, is that aspect of them and you match.
Yeah.
When it comes to like private life, intimate part of ourselves,
Yeah.
and with another person, you need to make sure that you match on the same level.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like, sexual attraction, erotic attraction. Like, do you have that chemistry? When you sit
Vibes.
next to each when you sit next to each other, do you feel that magnetic.
Yeah,
that
like
we
does this
draw.
person feel like a brother to you or a sister to you,
Yeah.
or does it feel like someone
Yeah, it's not just like,
you could
oh,
potentially
this is so, oh my god, it's so, I have such a fun time talking to this
Yeah.
person, and we can talk about anything, we can talk about dating too, and we really enjoy our conversations. But have you ever sat down quietly and send something?
Like,
Do you
just-
feel like you want to lean in and I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes you can date with a guy or a girl who you can have really, really good conversation with, and we connect on multiple levels.
but it's just not someone you feel physically attracted
Yeah.
to.
Or like in sexually or
Yeah.
other aspect in the long run. So this kind of thing you have to figure out too.
Yeah. But that said, this is usually not something you can tell on a first date.
Mm.
So some people, you know, the lucky ones, you know on the first date, oh, this is somebody, you know, I like. But sometimes you date someone not being physically attracted to them. Like not that much. You're like, oh, this person looks okay.
Yeah.
But I like his personality, so
Yeah.
let's talk. And then, so this can happen, you know, anywhere during, I guess,
Yeah.
the dating phase.
Definitely.
So I would say give it time. If on the first date you are not sure, you can consider a second date. But if on the first date you're like, yeah, no, then you gotta make it clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta make
you
it
gotta
clear.
make it clear to the
Please
person.
communicate. Don't just ghost.
Don't ghost. Yeah,
Don't ghost.
try not to.
Yeah, try
But
not to.
Although,
If it's a very difficult case, then I will leave it up to you.
although on dating apps, ghosting is quite common.
It is.
Yeah.
It is though.
But okay, I would feel like if you had a genuine conversation with this person, the least respect you can show him or her is to not ghost.
yeah.
So if, for example, you only said, hi, what's your favorite food? Then, okay, ghost lah. But if you had a genuine conversation,
You already have that rapport.
Yeah, show respect and just say, hey, you know, maybe not looking to date right now, or you know, I just see you as a friend. Just be honest. I mean,
It's a good practice.
Yeah, it
it's a good
is.
practice. It might be like a difficult conversation you
Yeah.
can have, right?
Yeah,
But I
for
think
sure.
it's a good practice for yourself. Because when it comes to the actual dating and relationship, you have to anticipate difficult conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
You will always
Yeah.
have it. So.
Sweeping it under the carpet is not gonna solve
Yes.
anything.
And as you can see, we have covered quite a wide topics about dating. I'm pretty sure that we can have another episode about dating with Jasmine. But now we're gonna move on to the quick questions. So I'm gonna ask you a question and you're supposed to be answer very quickly.
Okay, I just
Are
want
you
to say,
ready?
I haven't seen or heard these questions before. So am I ready? Hold on my teeth.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Okay, so first question. Do you prefer cafe dating or picnic dating?
Coffee.
Oh, okay. Next one, text first or wait for his text?
Ooh. If I really like this person, text first.
Oh, okay. Your biggest turn on?
Ooh. Ooh. People who sing.
Ooh!
Like, once you sing, I am blind. Like, like you just, like, I'm like, oh, Shawn Mendes, is that you?
Okay, next one, biggest turn off.
Oh, this one's hard. Let me think. Bad English.
Bad English.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dear boys.
It's-
You gotta watch
I
you
mean,
gotta watch your grammatical errors right now.
It's a personal thing for me.
Yeah, okay, okay. If you could tell your younger self about dating, what would you tell her?
Communicate.
Communicate. Alright. Woo, that was a really quick answers. We just
Stressful. We're in the AC, but I'm like cold sweat.
now we learn a lot about Jasmine
Yeah.
when it comes to dating.
If you want to find out more, like this video.
And yes, I hope you guys enjoyed our conversations and have some few takeaways from our conversation we had about dating. And if you find any of the points or personal experience you find it relatable and you would like to share, you can comment below and we would love to read all of them.
Or if you have like any tips for us also, because we're also learning, right? You can also write it down below.
Yeah. And that's all we have for this week. Sister Circle, because sisters
Have problems too.
I will see you in the next episode. Bye.